Every moment, every breath, we thank Allah. The blessings of Ramadan, the blessings of Ramadan, the blessings of Ramadan, the blessings of Ramadan.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen, amma ba'd fa'a'uzu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulallah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah, wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. Sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, there are many blessings of reciting Durood Pak upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. No doubt the day of judgment will be a very testing day. It will be a very terrifying day. And it will be a day of great difficulty for those who wasted time in this world. And when the majority of the people will be in distress, there will be the pious people of Allah Azza wa Jal who will be in the shade of the Arsh of Allah Azza wa Jal. There will be the pious people of Allah Azza wa Jal who will be in the company of the messengers of Allah Azza wa Jal. And there will be those blessed people as well who will be with the best of creation sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, in the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. What a great status that would be. How do we achieve that? Let me share with you a beautiful hadith mubarakah. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, the closest to me on the day of judgment will be the one who recites Durood Pak upon me in abundance in this world. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, we are blessed with this beautiful month of Ramadan al-Mubarak. And it comes with all its great mercies and all its gifts. But we know that the intention of a believer is very important. And we know that the greater the intention, the greater the reward. So today, inshallah, we're going to talk about how to maximize blessings simply by bettering our intentions in this month of Ramadan al-Mubarak. Subhanallah. So if we consider carefully our intention, intention is a precondition for any Islamic action. So when you're praying salah or you're in zakat, your niyat, your intention is very, very important. So if somebody without any intention remains hungry from morning till evening, this is not fasting. And it will not be a valid fast in the court of Allah Azza wa Jal. As much as you would think that you remained hungry and you remained thirsty, if you did it without intention, there is zero reward. But by making an intention to fast between the morning and the evening, dawn and dusk, for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, subhanallah, the rewards start to come. And the scholars write that the time for making the intention for Ramadan fasts, for Nafil fasts, and for specified vows, for example, if you say, I will fast on such and such a day if this thing happens, for those fasts, it starts after sunset on the night before until the Sehri midday of the next day. Now, a lot of people don't know this, but the scholars write that, for example, if I want to fast tomorrow, then after sunset today, I can make the intention for that fast. And I have up until midday tomorrow to make that intention as well. So, for example, if I wake up in the morning and I don't do any acts which will invalidate a fast, for example, eating, drinking, then I have until the Sehri midday to make my intention to fast. And the Sehri midday, my dear Islamic brothers, is not actually midday in the sense we see it. It's not noon, it's not 12 o'clock. No, the Sehri midday, it's actually taking the time from dawn till sunset and dividing it by 2. And you can make your intention for fast if you haven't done any act contrary to fasting in that time. There are beautiful du'as where we have the intention to fast the farz fast of tomorrow for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. And if you're making your niyat later, you can always say, I have intended to fast today as a farz fast of Ramadan for Allah Azza wa Jal, because as I mentioned, you have until Sehri midday the next day to make that intention. So depending on when you make it, you can make these. A lot of people believe that pronouncing the words in Arabic is very, very important. Pronouncing them in Arabic and in accordance with the Hadith Mubarakah or the teachings of the scholars is no doubt a source of great blessing and great reward. But your du'as and your intentions will only become valid if you understand the meaning of them. If you understand that here I am intending to make this fast for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, simply learning an Arabic transcript and simply reciting that without any intention is not of any use. You can actually do your niyat, your intention, in any language you want. What is important is that the heart and the tongue are together. So you're not just uttering something you don't understand and you don't have the intention. What is important is that you learn. If you learn the Arabic, yes, it's much better. But if you learn the Arabic, make sure you know the translation. Make sure you have that state of mind so that you can maximize the blessings from the fast that you have. Now, we make the intention to fast between dawn, which is Subh Sadiq, and Iftari time. Once we do that, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, the time comes and we are rewarded for abstaining from these things because we have made the intention to do it for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, this month of Ramadan Al-Mubarak is a very blessed one. And to maximize its blessings, we must increase our intentions. So if in the morning we start off and we make the intention to fast between Subh Sadiq and Iftar time, that is one intention. But at the same time, as you're making that intention, if you also make the intention that I will protect my salah today, that is another beautiful intention. And you will read salah and namaz, inshallah, during the day. That will gain its own reward in your book of deeds. But the niyyat, the intention you made in the morning, will separately represent it in your book of deeds, and you will gain reward for that intention. Then, if you make the intention that inshallah Azza wa Jal, I will today recite a juz of the Quran, you make that beautiful intention. Now, if you do go on to recite a para of the Quran, you will gain the great reward. You will be rewarded separately for this beautiful intention that you made in the morning. Subhanallah. Then, if you make the intention that I will recite Durood Pak upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam all day long, I will try my best to keep my tongue moist in the zikr of Allah Azza wa Jal. I will try and keep the tasbih, the counter, in my hand. I will try to refrain from all sorts of useless talk. Inshallah Azza wa Jal, today I will try to refrain from backbiting. I will try to refrain from anything that displeases Allah and His beloved Habib sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. These are all beautiful intentions that you can make. Today I will make sure that I am nice to everybody. Today I will try to speak in a beautiful manner with everybody. Today I will try to act in accordance with the sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today I will try my very best to get to the masjid to read namaz, to go to the mosque. Today, if I'm not working or I am allowed to, I will try and spend the day in the sunnat clothes. I will try to make sure that I do nothing to displease Allah and His beloved Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I will today read Islamic books. Today I will gain Islamic knowledge. Today I will watch Madani Channel and learn the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today I will serve my parents. Today I will help my brothers and sisters. Today I will be nice to my children, because this is the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is the teachings of the Quran. Now, all of these things that we make the intention for in the morning, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, whether we get to do them or not, so long as the intention is firm in the morning, you will gain reward for making that intention. Subhanallah. If you get up in the morning and you say, today I am fasting, and therefore for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, I'm going to put a kufla Medina, a spiritual lock of Medina on my eyes. I am not going to look at anything that displeases Allah and His beloved Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Today I'm going to put a spiritual lock of Medina on my ears. I'm not going to listen to any profanity, no music, nothing. I don't want to hear anybody's backbiting. I don't want to hear anybody gossiping. I'm going to protect my ears because I am fasting. I make that intention. I make the intention to control my hand. I make the intention to control my feet. I make the intention to control this piece of flesh which is very dangerous, the tongue. I will remain silent in the zikr of Allah Azza wa Jal unless I have to speak. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, these are all the beautiful, beautiful intentions that we can make in the morning. And alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, when we make these beautiful intentions, we will increase the reward that we gain. And then during the day, if you every morning make these intentions, what it does is it plays on your mind, because I made this intention. Why am I now acting against it? Or I should be conforming to it. And then in the evenings, when we sit down with the beautiful Madani Namad card, and we look at this checklist that Amir al-Sunnah Damat Barakatumul Aliyah has given us, and we think, today did I have virtuous intentions? Number one, subhanallah, Niyatul mu'mini khayru min amalih. The intention of a mu'min is better than his actions. Well, number one on Amir al-Sunnah Damat Barakatumul Aliyah's Madani Namad card is exactly that. What were my intentions today? And you look at that, and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, on this day of Ramadan al-Mubarak, I've made some beautiful intentions. Now it's up to me to try and act upon them. But alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, I've made those intentions. And then in the evening, you read them again. And if we do that every day, day in, day out, my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, what happens? We, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, start to develop this piety. Because we are thinking about pleasing Allah and His beloved Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We're not doing actions for the sake of actions. We're not fasting by keeping our mouth shut and remaining hungry and thirsty. We are now doing it to gain the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. And by continually repeating it, the Buzurgan-e-Deen write that initially your intentions may be suspect, but by continuously repeating the good intentions, they gradually get ingrained into your mind, so that when you get up after a few days of Ramadan al-Mubarak, because every morning you've been making the good intentions, and because every evening you've been looking at the Madani Namad card and making sure you've been applying those beautiful intentions and gaining the rewards of Ramadan al-Mubarak, after a few days, those become traits. And if you keep it up for the 30 days of Ramadan and beyond, then they become habits. And then this month of Ramadan al-Mubarak has come, and it has taken us from somebody who never cared about what the intention was, never did actions to please Allah and His beloved Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam, maybe just copied other people, but suddenly now we are thinking, why am I doing this? Does the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal lie in this act? Will Aqā sallallahu alaihi wasallam be pleased with me if I do this? Or will Allah and His beloved Habib be displeased with me? Is this the obedience of Allah Azza wa Jal, or is this disobedience? And my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, that is the essence of what Ramadan al-Mubarak teaches us. It teaches us to become better people. It teaches us to develop that piety and sincerity in our hearts, because it teaches us that Allah Azza wa Jal is watching, and it makes us more God conscious. And once we become God conscious, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, then we start to increase our rewards. And even then, when we are sleeping, say for example, you are sleeping, make sure that that is worship as well. The sleep of a fasting person, we've heard, is Alhamdulillah worship. But even during the night when you're sleeping, if you sleep with the intention that I'm going to increase my energy, I'm going to rest so that during the day I can observe the fast, but observe it with all the energy that I need to make sure I protect my salah, make sure I'm nice to people, make sure that I'm not grumpy, make sure that I read the Quran, make sure that I spend the day in the zikr of Allah Azza wa Jal, then that intention made for that sleep means that that sleep becomes an act of worship as well. Subhanallah. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, following the beautiful sunnahs of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam is a great privilege. You have been chosen to fast. Of all the people in the world, you have been gifted with these blessings. Sayyidina Shaykh Sharfuddin rahmatullah alayhi has said, Allah Azza wa Jal has blessed me with so much strength that I can spend my whole life without eating and drinking and without fulfilling any needs of mine. But I avoid doing this. Why? Because it isn't the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. To me, abiding by the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is better than 1,000 years of worship. Subhanallah. How beautiful are the words of our great Buzurgan-e-Deen, the scholars, our elders, our ancestors in Deen, that they focused their minds on gaining the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal by acting upon the sunnats of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, one blessing that we have in the month of Ramadan al-Mubarak is the food. Now, Allah Azza wa Jal has gifted us with this Sehri. There was a time in the beginning when eating and drinking in Ramadan or for a fast had to be done before a person slept. So if you slept at night, then woke up and then ate, this was not allowed. It was considered to be wrong. You had to eat before you actually went to sleep. And this was changed. And let me share with you the beautiful story of how it happened. Sayyidina Samra bin Qais radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was a very hard-working man, a beautiful companion of the best of creation sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. One evening, he returned home having worked all day on the fields, and he was in the state of fast. When he arrived home, he asked his Bachuki Ammi, his wife, for food. She began to prepare it. He, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, was very tired and fell asleep. When the food was eventually prepared and presented in front of him, he couldn't wake up. He was too tired and he remained asleep. He then woke up, but he refused to eat the food, because as they understood at that time, you could not eat once you had sleeping. Therefore, he fasted the next day without eating, and he carried on his routine. He became weak and at one point passed out because he hadn't eaten. And this is somebody who was working hard in the heat of Arabia, and for the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal, because he considered it wrong to eat after you had been asleep, he then did not eat. He passed out. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Allah Azza wa Jal, the most merciful, the most compassionate, revealed the beautiful ayah Mubarakah in Surah Baqarah Sharif, verse 187. And it says, "And eat and drink until the white thread becomes distinct to you from the black thread at dawn. Then complete the fast till the coming of the night." Subhanallah. And the scholars of Deen write that because of this beautiful ayah Mubarakah, it became permissible to eat after you had slept. And through the blessings of the companions of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, things were made easy for us as well. Subhanallah. So we have now this beautiful time in the morning of Sehri, and this beautiful sunnat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where even when we're eating, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, we are being blessed with reward for the act of eating, because we eat with the intention that it is the sunnat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, there are many blessings of Sehri, and a lot of youngsters, especially these days, and a lot of people, they think, well, Sehri is for the weak, or Sehri is not that important, and I don't have to do Sehri. That's right. That is correct. Technically, if you did not do Sehri but made the intention for your fast, that intention is valid and your fast will be valid. But why are we fasting? We are fasting to earn great reward from the court of Allah Azza wa Jal, the most merciful, who in this month is showering the Muslims with His mercy and His gifts and the benefits of Ramadan. And we know that Aka sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam performed Sehri. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ate in the morning, and therefore it is a blessed sunnat of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to do Sehri. And we know without a doubt that acting upon the sunnats of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will bring us amazing rewards and benefits and amazing virtues and deeds. So why, if we set out on this act to gain this amazing reward, would we want to miss out on the opportunity to do Sehri? Let me share with you some beautiful Madani pearls, beautiful hadith mubarakah in relation to Sehri. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam said, eat Sehri because it is blessed food. Subhanallah. Just imagine the beautiful time in the morning when everybody is up, the food is being cooked, and alhamdulillah, somebody's here reciting the Quran, somebody's just praying the nafil in the morning, somebody's praying tahajjud, and then they're all going to come together and sit around at the dastarkhan in accordance with the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the gathering of the family in that way is blessed, and the food is blessed. And then on top of that, you're in Ramadan and you are performing Sehri, and Aka sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, eat Sehri because it is blessed food. Can you imagine the blessings just in this act of eating? Can you imagine the peace and tranquility that will descend upon this house where everybody is getting together to act upon this beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Can you imagine the blessings they are gaining and the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal that is being showered upon that family, who all come together for the sake of Allah and His Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam and eat to fast the next day? Subhanallah. No doubt, these people are the ones who are being showered with the great blessings and mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam also said, the distinguishing factor between us and the people of the book, the Ahl Kitab, lies in eating Sehri. The people of the book used to fast as well. Fasting is an ancient form of worship, but they did not perform Sehri. But alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, this ummah of the blessed and beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has been blessed with this gift of Sehri. And when you eat, you are actually satisfying your desire of hunger, or you're filling your stomach. But Allah Azza wa Jalla is so merciful in this month of Ramadan al-Mubarak that you have been rewarded for the morsels that you eat and the water that you drink. Subhanallah. Then let me share with you a beautiful habit of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to call one of the companions to come and do Sehri, the way that Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to call them was this: come and eat the blessed food. Subhanallah, subhanallah. Aur kaisi wo sehriyan hoti hain, those sehris that the Sahaba Ikram did with the best of creation sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Allah, 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 Allah. And then Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, eat Sehri to gain strength for fast, and take rest, siesta in the afternoon, to gain strength for worshipping at night. Subhanallah. And my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, That was what we were talking about when we said intention. Because if we take the intention that we're eating Sehri simply to gain the energy to worship Allah Azza wa Jal during the day, it increases our reward. Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, Sehri is a blessing that Allah Azza wa Jal has granted you, therefore do not miss it. Some of the youngsters, I can survive without. My dear Islamic brothers, it's not about surviving without. It's about missing out on the great blessings that it brings and the great benefits that it brings. Subhanallah. There are 3 people, Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, who will not be held accountable no matter how much they eat, provided the food is halal. The first, a fasting person at the time of Iftar. Second, the one who eats Sehri. And third, the warrior who protects the Islamic border in the path of Allah Azza wa Jal. Subhanallah. So this is food. For all of the food that we eat, provided it's halal, you will still be held accountable. But the Sehri and Iftari food, you will not have any accountability for that. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, in a beautiful hadith mubarakah in Musnad Imam Ahmad, Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is reported to have said, Sehri is full of blessings, so do not miss it. Even if you drink just a sip of water, Allah Azza wa Jal and His angels send mercy upon the people who consume Sehri. The beloved Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is giving us this physical and spiritual benefits of Sehri. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of Madani Channel, Aka sallallahu alayhi wa sallam described this Sehri as a blessed breakfast. So why should we miss out on these blessings? Although it's not a condition of the fast, what an amazing opportunity it is. And even if, say, you are tired or you don't feel like eating, just with the niyyat, the intention of acting upon the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, take a little bit of water and a few dates, because it was the blessed sunnah of Aka Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to do Sehri with dates and water. Indeed, Sayyidina Anas bin Malik radiyallahu ta'ala said that the Holy Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to say to me at the time of Sehri, I intend to fast, give me something to eat. And so I used to provide in the court of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam dates and a cup of water. Subhanallah. So when you in the morning don't feel like eating, if you don't do anything else, just take some water, take 3 dates, and with the intention of acting upon this beautiful sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, eat the dates with the water, and that will be more than enough for you. Subhanallah. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us the blessings of the beautiful month of Ramadan al-Mubarak, and give us the blessings of Sehri, which is a great gift from Allah Azza wa Jal. Ameen bijahin Nabil Ameen sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Every moment, every breath, we thank Allah. The blessings of Ramadan, the blessings of Ramadan, the blessings of Ramadan, the blessings of Ramadan.